I like the approach where, you're working a full-time job and you want to get into real estate, dip your toe in the water. If you like it, then you add, and eventually, hopefully supplement your income. And then you can quit your job and go ahead and do this full time. That's the approach I would rather see. All right. Good morning or afternoon or evening, depending on where you are and what time you're watching this. Right now it's morning. We're going to chat about getting started in real estate investing. And just a quick story about myself. I got started, I was an auto mechanic, and somehow I morphed into now being a real estate broker owner, a property management company owner, owning real estate, nice healthy portfolio, doing, flipping homes here and there. The first thing I think we all need to focus on is maybe looking internally and how driven are you? Because to succeed in anything, you have to be obsessed in a way, a healthy way. You really must be thinking about real estate a lot before you decide. Just on a whim, you just get up one day and go, I want to be financially secure and I'm just going to buy real estate. I think that's wrong. The approach should be you're constantly thinking about being, financially secure and owning real estate, being your own boss, and that drives you, and that's all you think about. Number one. Number two, educate yourself. Get online. Start listening to podcasts, watching podcasts. Start going to networking events, local real estate networking events. Even do some coaching and things like that. Don't spend a lot of money because you don't have to. There's a lot of information out there, but sometimes the hardest part is not finding the information. It's putting it all together. There's so many different points of view. Different investors look at things a certain way and they invest this way, and some invest in this segment, and it'll drive you crazy. So you have to gather information, but you also have to know when to stop. You can't just constantly be gathering information. You're going to have to at some point take actions, which is my next point. You have to take action. You're going to have to do it at some point. Don't get stuck in just analyzing everything and then you're paralyzed with fear, paralyzed with indecision. That will kill any business, indecision. So even if you make a bad decision, at least make one. You're making progress. Third point, which I think is extremely, these are all very important, but you have to know your market. You really, really need to know the market. So I see a lot of investors who come from out of state. They want to buy here because it's affordable. And I do understand that, because when I hear stories from their point of view, they live in New York City or they live in San Francisco or even overseas. We have tons of overseas investors. The real estate there is triple, quadruple what they would pay here. So the barrier to entry is much higher, and the return on investment is it's not even there. So they come here because it's affordable. And I do understand that, but understand this also. You can make the same mistakes and lose just as much money here as you can anywhere else if you don't know what you're doing. You don't know the market. So you're going to really need to study the market here, like street by street, neighborhood by neighborhood, even what segment you want to invest in. You have to have some sort of target. You can't just come here and say, I want to buy commercial, retail, strip malls, single family homes, large multifamily, vacant land. I want to develop property. You can't do all that. Be more focused. Then as you get really good at one segment, you can expand. My specialty is just single family homes. To the largest one I own right now is a 9-unit. I'd love to own larger multifamilies, but the opportunity has never come to my plate where I could make an offer and it made sense. All right. Now you have to take action. You've educated yourself. You've gone to networking events. You've read books. You know the market, and you're always going to be continually learning. So don't ever think you know everything. You're always continually learning, but you have to take action at some point. I have some investors who I've been working with just over internet, really over email for years. They email me and say, hey, what else you got that's new? We're still looking. I'm like, it's been 5 years. You're still looking? okay, I just send them what's out there and I know that they're never going to pull the trigger. And then others I see come to just buy the first thing they see. If you buy the first property you've seen, you're probably making a mistake unless you're that a unicorn and just happen to find a good property in your first time. Be careful. Take your time on the first one. You have to take massive action, but you also have to take your time and be somewhat prepared and be somewhat careful. Not like myself. I was just the Wild West, just go buy something. I'd read a book and I was a mechanic and I'd read a book and I was like, well, I could do this. Let me start buying real estate. So I got lucky on one or two and then I failed miserably on one or two. Take your time. As you get better at it, you can expand your network. You can expand your team members because the team is very important. A good agent, good attorney, good accountant, even a good couple agents, because certain agents might not cover certain areas, geographically. I like the approach where you're working a full-time job and you want to get into real estate. Dip your toe in the water. If you like it, then you add, and eventually, hopefully, supplement your income. And then you can quit your job and go ahead and do this full-time. That's the approach I would rather see. But if you're going to do it the other way, have at it. But you just have to understand it's difficult. You're going to fail. You're going to get up and you're going to do it again. And I want to see you all succeed. You can always email me for questions, concerns about the Pittsburgh real estate market. I'm happy to help. If I can get to every email, I do. And I enjoy helping people get started or even in transition where they're growing the business. My email is alex@alexdeacon.com. Feel free to reach out to me at any time. I really do try to get to all my emails. You have a blessed day. Thank you.